With the creation of new innovations in communication and transportation in the 19th century, the ways in which Americans traveled and transported goods changed dramatically. One such innovation, the steamboat, created by Robert Fulton, played a major role in revolutionizing transportation. Along with Robert R. Livingston, a New York lawyer, politician, and diplomat, Fulton was granted a monopoly by New York over navigation and surrounding waterways in 1808, which eventually extended into a large network of steamboat lines. Aaron Ogden, a former New Jersey governor, wished to enter this business. After failing in his attempts to define the monopoly, Ogden purchased a license from Fulton and Livingston in 1815 in order to pursue his own steamboat business.
Hello, Mr. Fulton. Mr. Livingston, my name is Aaron Ogden. I have come here to purchase a steamboat license because if I believe correctly, both of you have been granted the exclusive navigational rights to the waters in this area by the state of New York.
Why yes, my partner, Robert Livingston, and I have recently been granted exclusive navigational privileges within the state of New York. In fact, we have just been successful in expanding our steamboat operations into the lower Mississippi region.
Yes, well, I was wondering if you fine gentlemen would be willing to allow me to purchase a license from you so that I could pursue my own commercial steamboating business in this area.
Certainly. I believe that such a license could be worked out. In fact, Mr. Ogden, here you are right now. Your ability to run your very own steamboat ventures in the surrounding waters has been granted.
It's a pleasure doing business with you. Thank you.
Good luck with your commercial ventures and your steamboat operations.
Thank you. I believe with this license, I will now be able to profit enormously.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gibbons, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you now have the power to run steamships along the Hudson. Now, I myself have quite a few steamboats, and I think we could benefit each other by creating a partnership here.
Great. Let's get rich. Gibbons, why were your steamships operating from most of the time in New York City? That's my route. Why didn't you tell me about this? You know it's my route.
I don't understand why you're so upset. I had every right to do what I did. I have a license that allows me to continue running steamships along the river.
You can't operate along my route. Your license isn't valid.
Again, I said I don't need your permission to run my ships. I have a license.
Where did you even get your license?
I went to the United States Congress, and they authorized me to continue operating my business.
Congress has no authority when it comes to territory governed by the states. Again, your license is invalid.
The federal government has more authority than the states, so I can use my license.
This is the last time your incompetence will ruin my plans.
Your plans? This business was built around the two of us.
No, not anymore. This is the last time you will have betrayed my trust. We're taking this to court.
The New York Court of Errors is now in session. Mr. Ogden has the first word.
This is your final warning, Mr. Gibbons. I absolutely can't stand that you're operating on my waters. Since I purchased this area from its previous owners, I have the full rights to the interstate commerce on the route between New York and New Jersey.
No, I have a valid license from the United States Congress, the greatest power in the United States, so I'm allowed to operate in this area as I see fit.
Yet states often pass laws on issues regarding interstate matters. Therefore, states have full power on matters concerning their commercial interactions with each other.
I'll drive your steamboat business
can't
into
touch
the
my
ground.
steamboat!
In this court, a decision has been reached. I have decided that since Mr. Ogden holds a state license to use the waterways between New York and New Jersey, and since you, Mr. Gibbons, do not own such a license, you do not have the privileges to be using these routes.
Yes, Your Honor, but
Quiet! You have no authority to be talking while I make my decision. The court will issue a formal injunction against Mr. Gibbons for the unwarranted use of the waterways. This session is officially adjourned.
I refuse to have the rights granted to me by the federal government infringed upon. This is not the last time you'll hear from me, Mr. Ogden. I'm taking this case to the Supreme Court.
All persons in this court, draw near and pay attention. The Honorable John Marshall presiding.
Please be seated. Today, we'll be reviewing the case of Gibbons v. Ogden. Will the petitioner now make his case?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client has approached the Supreme Court due to a violation within the terms of a federal entitlement to participate and administer interstate trade, including but not limited to coastal navigations. Said terms of a federal license can be found within the Commerce Clause of the Constitution, which grants Congress with the power to, and I repeat verbatim, regulate commerce with foreign nations and amongst the several states and with the Indian tribes. We can thus observe that the Constitution, the binding pact holding this entire nation together, dictates explicitly that Congress is to hold authoritative power concerning the regulation of interstate commerce. My client already holds a federal license. Therefore, he has already been granted the power by the Supreme Federal Government to operate his own steamboats along the said path.
Now will the respondent please make their case?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to acknowledge that our petitioner has made a compelling case regarding the explicitness of the Commerce Clause, but the Constitution does not come anywhere near as implicit in regards to our situation. We are discussing commerce within the state of New York, while this may apply to other states. In addition, nowhere in this heavily cited Commerce Clause does it state that Congress has the right to override the state's power.
The rebuttals will now be presented, first by the petitioner, then by the respondent.
Your Honor, I contend that the commerce which took place was indeed interstate commerce, since the exchanges that took place affected both the states of New York and New Jersey. Therefore, Congress has complete control over it under the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. This Commerce Clause clearly refers to administering and therefore having complete control over commerce between the states.
The Constitution does not grant immediate authoritative power over interstate commerce, and definitely not within intrastate commerce. Nowhere in the Constitution does it state that the federal government gains authoritative power over all other facets regarding commerce.
Thank you for presenting your cases today. The court will reconvene within half a year to present our final decision. The court has decided unanimously that the Congress maintains authority over these states regarding interstate commerce. We cite both the Supremacy Clause as well as the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause states that the U.S. Congress has the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations, states, and with the Indian tribes. We interpret this as federal power regarding the interstate commerce. In regards to the Supremacy Clause, which makes the word Congress the supreme law of the land, hold more authority than all other sources of power.
In the end, Justice Marshall stated that the power to regulate navigation and interstate commerce was reserved for Congress under the Commerce Clause. In the case of Gibbons versus Ogden, the defendant was found guilty, and it was decided that the state of New York could not interfere with interstate navigation. Thus, this case established that the national government had exclusive power over interstate commerce, including navigation, and negated state laws interfering with the exercise of that power. As a result, monopolies in New York and Louisiana were shut down, and settling towards the west became easier.